Welcome back to Let's Talk Careers. I'm so excited to bring another incredible guest. Today we are speaking with Ahmad Zarour, who is a regional sales manager for the MENA region. Welcome, Ahmad.
Hello, Maria. Thank you for hosting me, really. Thank you for your time.
Super excited to have you here. Definitely so excited to jump into your career journey. One of your interests is education, which is what this is always about. And before we jump into what you're doing today and where you're heading in the future of your career, I thought we could go back in time when you were a younger teenager. Can you remember around 14, 15, 16, you were probably asked by parents, friends, family, Ahmed, what are you going to do when you grow up? How did you respond to that? What were some of the things that you remember thinking, I'm going to do that?
Yeah, definitely. It was, to be honest with you, just like an imagination where I want to be a pilot, or I want to be an engineer, or a doctor. But myself, I wanted to be honest with you, a businessman. Was a dream for me. So my dad was a businessman as well. And every time they ask me like, Ahmed, what do you want to be? I'm like, I want to be a businessman. And to be honest with you, it turned out to be different, definitely, because when you are 15 and 16 back then, with no, like, let's say, lots of exposure to internet and, let's say, resources that you can search and learn more, it's and someone to guide you, basically, it's hard to let's say, to select your major or to know what you're gonna basically have as a career.
You mentioned some really key elements of the journey for a young person. One is access, two is influence, and three is trying to figure it out for yourself as well. So when we talk to young people today, the assumption is they have access to the internet, but the reality is, depending on your location around the world, depending on privilege, depending on access, they may not have it. When you look back at that time to having limited internet, now maybe for you it was because of where you were, or maybe it was because of the kind of decade we were living in. Whatever it was, those tips will be really helpful for a young person that may have limited access. How did you find your way through it? How did you use the internet when you could, or use other sources when you didn't have access?
To be honest with you, I used the internet, and other things were prohibited back then for me to understand more, because I'm now I'm an adult now, and I believe that the age is just taking me very in a different way. So let's say I had a little bit of guidance, and then after that I made a major selection, which was computer science. But this wasn't my dream, wasn't my career that I wanted to let's say, pursue in. So I took it for 1 year, and then I changed my major to another major, which is, I said that this year taught me that I wanted computer science, but to be honest, this is not what I wanted to be. I want something in IT, but at another thing, I want something in business, because this is me. I'm a very good communicator. I can talk to people. I am basically, I'm so open-minded. Basically, computer science people are the ones that just like to sit behind the computer and they just enjoy it. And this is not me. So I didn't want to lose basically the computer aspect, because of how much important is it in the upcoming world. But also I didn't want to lose the thing that I wanted, which is business. So I took a major, which is management information systems, which basically it combines both principles of let's say, information systems and business, basically management, business, HR, and all of that.
So I really appreciate that you took us through how you were thinking and how you made those choices. For young people today, many young people will say that there's a strong influence from home in making them make specific types of choices. Did you find that when you were making choices that you were being influenced in a certain pathway. So you said that your father was in business and he was a businessman. Were you feeling that there was a push for you to go down a specific path, or did you find that you were able to kind of find your own way through?
That's the tricky part. So definitely the culture, the traditions, the parents always interfere in your choices, and this is normal in the Middle East because they are just very afraid that you take the wrong choice, and basically they are so overprotected. So they wanted, and they just like, yeah, why don't you be like me? Look at me, I'm successful. If they are successful in their own careers. So I believe that, I don't want to say this is wrong or right, but at the same time, this is not something that they want. This is something that you want. So here is the thing, that if you want to take a decision on something, is basically you need to look at what skills do you have, and also what's the market is going through at the upcoming years. So for example, my parents used to tell me that, yeah, you need to be a businessman like your father. And I wanted that. And when I got older, everyone's like, no, computer science now is a thing. So go to computer science. So I didn't choose what I wanted at the beginning, which was, I don't want to say wrong, but it wasn't ideal for me because I lost 1 year doing what they wanted. And then after that, when I did what I wanted, I excelled in my career, and because this is something I love and something that I basically wanted, so it gave me a different perspective of how life should be, and how basically other people can influence you on something that wouldn't be you. It's just their answers for you for taking decisions, because they think it's right for you, but at the end, it's basically, they don't know you better than you. This is how it goes.
I really appreciate that. That's so true. But when you're young and you're not really understanding who you are, either because you never had time to self-reflect, or you're kind of getting to know who you are, it's hard for parents to let you take the wheel and drive forward, because they almost feel like they know you better than you would know yourself. So definitely a sweet spot between how can a young person learn more about themselves, and how can parents feel more reassured that they're making choices that are right for them, and not just making random choices, I think is really what it's about. But let's come to your current role. One of the challenges I see when I work with the youth is they aspire to do a job title. Sometimes, actually many times, they're not really familiar with the realities of what that role means. And they sometimes also think that they're going to go from education to that managerial role. So being a regional sales manager today, is this where the career started for you? And if not, can you take us through the footprints of how you went from education to your current role?
Sure. So basically, I will tell you more about my background. I started working as when I graduated, and I had MIS, and I thought that, yeah, I'm gonna do now great things, and I'll be having a general manager title, or a computer analyst, or whatever. And it wasn't true. It's basically experience is a key of doing things, and that's why I believe that when I entered my, let's say, education role after getting into many fresh graduate jobs, which is jobs of doing admin work, entering some applications, and just understanding more how the work environment looks like, and dealing with employees and colleagues is basically different than what you see on TV or what you hear. So after that, my job was just into something, let's say, more into admin work in an embassy, in the US embassy. So, and then after that, I moved to an education role where I applied for an admission officer, and then it was only just also a startup company where they are doing basically applications for the students. And to study abroad. So I was doing all of this application work, and then I excelled in my career just by helping students and getting them into very good universities. And these keys and these, let's say, key that they got into very good universities was to guide them well and to counsel them well and to basically make a major selection, let's say, exam or test for them where they can put the major selection on. And this came by my idea, by basically, just going there. When a student comes, like, I started asking them. We didn't do this service in the company, but it just came out of nowhere. When the student comes, just like, I'm asking him and going deep with him. And I liked it because, students like, my father wanted me to be this, and I'm better in this. And they started just telling what they want to do. So I'm like, this is great. Like, why don't we help these students? Because when I was young and everyone was young, they used to basically have a lot of challenge on taking the major, or basically knowing what they want. And this is something that's normal, because when we are young, we just have lots of, let's say, information from other people, and other people could influence us and their decisions. That's why I'm like, just let's ask them. Let's go more deep with the students. So after I came familiar with techniques, and I took a lot of courses on that, and I just wanted it as a job. And then after that, I moved to my current job after like years of staying at this company and working in several universities in the counseling department. I became the regional manager of a company, and this company basically serves lots of students to study in University of Cambridge and Oxford, basically to support them in their interpersonal skills and the major selection. So this is what I wanted, and I'm working with these people, and they are professional people, where students that leaves the program, it's a 2-week program where you go and study a certain major, and we give evaluation if this major works for you, and if not, we change you to another major. And we go basically with a journey with a student to improve him as interpersonal skills and basically as a major selection. And that was great for me. That, why not? I want to support the students from the MENA region. And here we go. I'm working now as a regional sales manager for this company, and I'm supporting youth. And also this program gives them not only the side of the academic side, it gives them also how the career insight looks like. So to answer your question is basically, there's lots of people that can guide you on what to do, professionals on basically on what major selection you want, on how the job would look like when you choose a major, and just go more deep in it. And it's different when a doctor, for example, is doing. Everyone's seeing this doctor is great. Like, look at this doctor; he's a doctor. But do you know what this doctor is doing? He's working all the time. He's tired. He's stressful. He's basically working in something that as a patient could die and could live, and it's basically stressful. So the students or the people that are applying for medicine or wants a medicine as a career needs to understand what's going to happen after they graduate and how it's the work environment looks like. It might not suit them at all, or might be a great ideal job for them.
So I love how you took us through the different pathways that you took, but more interesting for me is the little tip that you said right at the beginning of, it was more about experience. I thought that I would get, and then I realized that actually I needed experience, and that's something that young people are not really focused on. So now that you're doing the role that you do, helping students learn more about their majors and gain experiences, connect with the world of work, but you've also been on your journey, what would you say are your top 3 career tips for a young person learning to discover who they are, trying to find that way forward, and getting themselves ready for their professional lives?
So yes, basically the most career tips is do what you want. This is something that is very important, that anything that you see that you want to do, basically just do it. There's lots of roadblocks, but at the end of the day, this is life. You need to just move forward and just break all of these roadblocks and just move forward. And I believe that everyone will have lots of challenges, and some of them will just like, oh, I don't want to continue here. No, just move forward with anything you like. Do not let anyone, just do not let anyone to influence you on their negative things or negative thoughts. Just move forward, look for experience, and work with the great people. And when you are the smartest person in the room, just leave the room for more challenges. And I love this quote. It's a great one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that these three things is the most important elements for youth, just to move on with their career.
In your experience working with the youth, what are some of the things that you noticed? You mentioned they try a major or they're tasting a major, and if it doesn't fit, you help them to find another major. So that's something that a lot of young people are afraid of, is like the change of going from what they think they're going to do to accepting that it might not be for them, and then trying something else. In seeing that come to life with young people, what are some of the common things that you notice, and what are some of the tips that you can offer a student to relax, knowing that it's okay to change? It's not about making it fit, it's about feeling that it's the right fit.
Sure. For the people that, let's say, started colleges, my tip is, it's fine. Even if you don't like your major, change it now. And I believe that you didn't lose any time. Don't look that all your friends graduated or they're moving forward with their majors is something that would bother you, or you feel that you are still have a long journey to go. I believe that you need to just do what you want. And even though they are moving forward, don't think that you stopped moving forward. It's just you have different challenges than what they have. And I believe that this is not something that you can look at success at, or look at negativity at. It's something that you need to do. That's it. So it's not a big deal for you if you felt that yes, I'm losing time, and no, this is not a big deal. This is, first of all, so time is not something that if you lose time because you think that you took the wrong major, just go for the right major, and time is always there. For the challenges that I saw with let's say young people, is most likely they take the major when they are on their 12th grade. So they choose the major then, most of them, and when they wanted to apply to the university, they didn't have the more experience and research on the major that they chose. So they go there and they have lots of let's say challenges on that major, and they might change for another major, and this major wouldn't be right, and they do all of that in the loop, because there's 60% of these students from previous studies in different areas that fails because of the wrong major selection. So what I basically believe, that students that wants to apply for universities needs to come a year earlier to basically take guidance, understand more, join programs that can basically give them the right major selection. Because I believe that lots of our students and lots of the people that I dealt with usually had different major selection, and they wanted these major selection. And for example, when they joined us, it's 180 degrees that they changed from the major that they wanted to another major because they practiced it and they saw it and they understand that, oh yeah, this is how it's going to look like when I'm going to work, for example, or when I'm going to study. And this is the interest that I want. So they go deeper because we do evaluation for the students on what majors to take, and basically interpersonal skills. We are there all the time. We see if these people can be basically updated in their interpersonal skills, and if not, then these majors cannot be connected together for these students. We go deeper also with how the students react when we give them a job or we get them into the real experience of doing the major. So some of the students, for example, doctors, engineers, lawyers, we give them like a case studies. And for example, for the medicine ones, we get, for example, a buffalo or whatever to just have surgery on him, just to give them this experience. And from 40 students in the room, 3 only stayed in the room, thinking that it's very interesting. And look at the heart, the veins, and the other, let's say 37 is like, ew, that's gross. We want to leave the room. I left the room as well. Yeah. So we get them all of these experiences just to know more. So my advice is a year before doing your applications to the universities, just seek for guidance from professionals, and also if you can join courses that can lead you to the right way and to the more experience they give you in it, that you can develop and understand which major you want, just go for it. And the third part is any experience that you are facing, let's say now, because you are a university student, just face it and change your major, and it's fine, and you are not losing time.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thanks for sharing your tips and giving us some insights into what you see and how you help the youth. It's really, really exciting. If you are watching right now and you're thinking about how do I do that discovery, you can reach out to Ahmed. How can they find you if they're looking for some more support?
Sure. So basically, I have an Instagram page, and also they can email me on Ahmed, which is ahmad.zarour, which is ZAROUR @immerse, which is IMMERSE.education. And looking forward for any student that want any support, really.
Thank you so much. And that brings us right to the end of another incredible conversation. Today we were speaking with Ahmad Zarour, who is a regional sales manager. He shared his career journey, talked a little bit about how he helps the youth, and gave us some tips on how you can support your children, or if you're watching this for yourself, how you can support yourself on that career discovery journey. We will see you all at our next Let's Talk Careers with Miss V. Thank you for watching.